Hey, what's up guys? Auto Fanatics. So today's video, we're gonna discuss cordless DA polishers and who makes the best polisher. Is it Flex or is it the new Milwaukee M18 Fuel Series? So on the table here, we have the 21 and the 15. I'm gonna show you guys all the details, discuss the batteries, discuss the Flex, and discuss a lot of things in relation to paint correction and polishers and why these units or a cordless polisher is really, it opens up a whole new realm as far as how you guys want to work, whether you want to go to a client's home, you want to do something at a car show, off premise. Sometimes you could go be a mobile detailer, and let's say you go to a client's house and let's say the circuit breaker blows and you can't use your extension cord or you don't have a generator. This is going to enable you to still do your paint correction and polishing and do your ceramic coatings and all of that. So I wanted to spend some time with both of these units, the 15 and the 21. You can see on the table the difference, the way you identify them is the 15 has the smaller 5-inch backing plate and the 21 has the 6-inch, which is pretty standard across the board. Now, the biggest thing I want to discuss in this video and why I think the Milwaukee probably is going to dominate this segment as far as cordless polishers is primarily because of the battery situation. Okay, so on the table here, I have the XC 5.0. This is a pretty heavy battery. And then I actually have a lot of these. These are the high output CP 3.0s. These are like really lightweight. And this is what I like to use on all my M18 power tools. Now, going back a little over a year ago, I decided to purchase this unit. This is the Flex XFE 15. So this is a 15 millimeter dual action machine similar to this one here. Now, when I was buying this machine, I was a little reluctant on buying it for two reasons. Number one, you're limited to what batteries you could get. You could only get this particular battery, which is the heavy one. It's a 5.0, and you can only buy this from Flex. There are no aftermarket suppliers of batteries. There's not really an abundance of aftermarket sources to buy batteries. So I just wanted something portable. I wanted something where I could go on the field, do quick touch-ups. Sometimes I just don't want to deal with a cord, and let's say I take one of my cars out and a branch from a tree falls and hits the roof or the hood, and I just want to do like a quick correction. And let's say I have other cars in the driveway and I don't want to move stuff around. I could just grab this machine, throw on a microfiber pad, go polish it, and it's done. And that's really the way I use this particular tool, is really for quick spot repairs. And it served me well. This tool, I have to say, is incredible because of the smoothness, the build quality, and I just love using it. And I'm going to show you today's video. We're going to go through sound demos. I'm going to show you guys everything about it so you guys could get as much information to make your decision as far as what cordless dual action polisher is going to be best suited for your needs and your budget. But to be honest with you, they're all priced around the same. So when you buy the Flex kit, you're going to get the 2 batteries and you're going to get the charger just like this, and it's about $600. When you buy any of these Milwaukees, you're between $529 to $599 with the 2 batteries, the charger, and you get a little bit of a carrying case. So realistically, the Milwaukees are not that much cheaper. So that's what we have to decide as far as what you want, and maybe you're brand loyal. But I think the benefit we're going to discuss here, and I want to really emphasize in this video, are the batteries and, of course, the support. Because Milwaukee, you can get these at any Home Depot. You could buy batteries on Amazon, Zorro, eBay, anywhere you want. You could always get batteries. And they probably have the most comprehensive cordless power tool range out of any other manufacturer in the world. So when you think about that, you're going to get the support. So you have the support of your local Home Depot for, returns, exchanges. You have service centers all over the United States and outside the United States as far as Milwaukee if you want to service it. Let's say you drop the tool and break it. And then you have the abundance of batteries. And I think when you're dealing with a cordless power tool, batteries are probably the most important thing you want to think about, because as you know, over time, they charge, they discharge, they just lose their juice, they don't become as effective. So let's say we put this XC 5.0 on this machine, and let's say after 6 months, we're not getting 45 minutes or an hour runtime. Let's say we're getting 20 minutes now. So now your batteries are depleting. Let's just say we have the Flex over here, and you're in the middle of a job, or you got to go travel, you got to do something. You can't get that battery for the Flex locally. It's just not going to happen. But you could pick up the Milwaukee batteries at any Home Depot and possibly some other, local home improvement stores as well. And I think that's really the advantage of Milwaukee coming out and engineering these tools specifically for this type of audience, because a lot of us that work on cars, Now I switched over to the M18 system for all my impact guns and a lot of stuff that I'm wrenching on cars. And to be honest with you, now I have 15 batteries, so I would never even think twice about just buying the tool only. And that's what I did in this particular case. I just bought the tool only. I didn't buy the case with the charger and all that because I already have a charger, which is right here. Okay, so when you buy the kit, you'll get a charger for the small M12s and of course the M18s, and they have other chargers as well. But this is all I need because I have so many batteries and I kind of keep them charged along the way. And the situation with Flex, you know, as awesome as the tools are, and a lot of my power tools for polishing are Flex tools, the batteries, I just don't like the batteries. They don't last as long. They're a little heavy and they don't have any options. So you're really limited to, hey, you buy this kit for 600 bucks, as is, take it or leave it, and that's pretty much what you're stuck with. So if you ever have issues where, let's say, Flex is going to discontinue or supersede this, or new battery technology is going to hit the market, these batteries are going to be obsolete. You're not going to be able to get them. And then this $600 tool as an investment is going to pretty much be useless. Now, one thing I want to discuss in this video, and I think it's very, very important, and I wish some of these tool manufacturers would adopt the same situation. Now, another cordless tool I have here is the Rupes Ibra Nano Long Neck. And you can see here, we got a little battery. Now, I use this with the battery to do certain tasks, okay? But primarily when I use this tool to do heavy correction, polycarbonate, or any metal refinishing, I plug it in. So Rupes, when they engineered this tool, they were smart enough because I had several issues with these batteries. So I may get 10 to 15 minutes out of this battery, and I have 4 of them. So what they include when you buy the kit, which is another $600 kit, you get an adapter that goes into the back of the tool, just like that, and you plug it in, and you have constant power. It'll never stall the motor, and it just gives you unlimited versatility. So this machine, when you buy it, based on this, you're not really relying on these batteries being available for the next 5 to 10 years, or who knows if these are gonna last. You have the corded adapter, which makes this tool last you forever if you take care of it. Possibly you open up the head, you have to do any greasing or work like that. But that's one thing that I wish Flex would do, and of course Milwaukee. And I think we might see something like that in the future. Now, if you look here, we got one of the Grillo's Garage small polishers. And one of the coolest things that they do, they have the detachable power cord, which I think is great for storage because what we end up doing when we detail cars, when we're done, we wind up the cord and then you have a stress crack right here always, and that causes the power cord to fail. But I think this is great because you could have one cord and you can use all of their polishers with the same cord, and it just makes it a lot easier for storage and for, you know, cleanup purposes. So what we're going to talk about now, we're going to do a sound demo, and I just want to show you guys quickly as far as the sound demo. Now, the one thing I'm going to tell you now in regards to smoothness and which one is quieter, the Flex wins hands down. So let's just show you guys right now. We're going to spin it. We're going to keep it at 6, which is the highest RPM, and I'm going to hold it in my hand just like this with no pad. Now listen to it carefully as it slows down. It's whisper quiet. There is no vibration coming into the body of the tool. This tool is phenomenal. It's quiet. It's so smooth. This is the smoothest and quietest and most enjoyable cordless dual action polisher you're going to get on the market. So that's really what you're going to get with the Flex. Now with the Milwaukee, you're getting a tool that's a little bit heavier, and we're going to put these on the scale, and I'm going to show you guys the weights of these tools, the 15, the 21, the Flex, and of course a corded polisher, just to show you guys as far as what we're talking about here. Now you can see same situation. We have the battery hanging off the back. They're claiming that this has the tightest clearance of 2 inches between the work surface by the ergonomic shape. Now when you look at this shape, this is much better designed as far as feel than the Flex. Flex, for some reason, they just don't do a great job with ergonomics on their polishes. I don't know why, but they just don't do it. If you look at like the 3401, the thing looks archaic in this day and age as far as what they're doing. So you have all molded rubber. You have your tool stops, so you could flip the tool over and you're not going to damage it. So you have the rest stops molded in right here. You have the rotary dial on the back, which is very similar to a professional rotary, whether it's from Makita, DeWalt, or even Milwaukee. And I really like it here. You have a soft start variable trigger. Okay, you have your screens here to prevent any debris if you're in a body shop environment from getting in and destroying the brushless motor. Now, Milwaukee is not giving you specifications as far as how much power these motors put out. When you buy a corded polisher, a lot of times in marketing, they'll say it's a 700 watt motor, it's a 1,000 watt motor, it's a 1,200 watt motor. And they're trying to say like, hey, we have higher wattage, it won't stall the machine, and you could actually do, color sanding, you could do heavy hard clear coats, and the machine won't bog down. Now, I'm gonna tell you now from using all of these machines that the Milwaukee 15 and the 21 are significantly more powerful than the Flex XFE 15. You could just feel it. You could feel the torque. You could hear it. And like I said, we're going to just do a little demonstration here audibly so you could hear it. You can see we have a vented backing plate, which is really nice. The Flex does not have a vented backing plate. You also, you don't get any vents over here, but you do get some air vents over here. Now, I was using the 15. I was polishing up a muffler recently. And I was using the tool for about an hour, and you have to be careful right here. This is like the cast metal section of it, even though it's covered in rubber over here. If you're using this machine for a prolonged period of time and you get your hand on it, you're gonna burn your fingers right over here. And that's something that you will not get with the Flex tool. So I just wanna show you guys that. Also, we don't get threaded ports on the left or right side to put a handle. Whereas on the Flex, you do get the ports on both sides if you decided to use it with a handle. Some people do, some people don't, but it's kind of nice to have that flexibility because you could also use, when you have a handle like that, you could use the LED light kit from like Buff Bright or any of those brands that make those LED lights that attach to the unit. So if you're doing your paint correction, it'll spot the light right on your panel. And I think that's great. So in this particular tool, you don't get that option. You do get the trigger lock as well, similar. So let's just do a sound demo. And we're gonna crank it up. So now the 15 goes from 2650 RPM up to 5100. The 21 has a different RPM, and I'll get that tool in a minute and we'll show you. So take a listen to this. We'll start out slow. You hear it right there? You get that chatter as it starts to slow down. Right there, and it's just something that I don't like, and you get a lot of that chatter in a lot of the knockoff dual action polishers, and I just don't like that because I think it's gonna cause wear and tear over the years as you use it. So let's just get it up to speed. You get that slowdown chatter right there. So now as far as vibration goes, you do get some vibration through the body here, and it seems to dissipate as you get to here, which is pretty much what you want, but you are getting some vibration in this tool. It does not feel as balanced as the Flex, but I will tell you now from using it, this tool will do better paint correction as far as getting severe defects out than the Flex. And that's something I also want to address too in this video, is the Flex tool, it's rated as a 15 dual action polisher, but from experience, if you're not using a really aggressive pad or a polishing compound, this tool is really good for jeweling, minor swirl marks, very, very minor details. This is almost like a finishing tool. That's what I'd call it. This is a finishing tool. If you have severe paint correction, you're probably gonna struggle trying to get the defects out, especially if you have a car with hard clear coat. That's just from experience. I had this tool for now over 2 years, and I use it a lot. And I know its limitations, and I know why I run out and grab it when I do. Now, with the Milwaukee tools, it's a little bit louder, a little bit more vibration in the body, but it feels much more robust, more powerful. And on this particular unit, you could take like a cutting pad like this, throw it on there. You could throw some medium grade polish, and you're gonna get out probably 80% of your defects with this 15 machine. Now, if you're doing severe correction, or you're doing like a lot of wet sanding of repainted cars and clear coats and stuff like that, you may want to step up to the 21. And you can see the 21 has a larger backing plate. Now, on the 21, our RPMs start at 2,400 and they go all the way up to 4,500. So we're just gonna do a sound demo. Then I'm gonna clean everything off the table. We're gonna weigh everything. I'm gonna go through the weights of a corded polisher, all these units on the table, and then we're gonna go outside and we're gonna do a demonstration using both the M18 21 and the M18 15. So here we go here. Take a listen to this one. You can see that there. So of course with the 21, which is the larger orbit pattern, no matter what it's a corded polisher or cordless, you're going to get more vibration into the machine. Now, I do think for what they did a very good job engineering it, because the vibration does get a little intense over here. When you're using the machine for a long period of time, you'll get a little bit of tingling in your fingers if you're holding it, you know, down here. But to be honest with you, I think the way these cordless polishers should be used is not all day long in a shop environment. I think you would pretty much want to do panel per panel. You know, work in a panel for 10 to 15, 20 minutes and stop. Let the tool cool off, because what's going to happen, it's going to get extremely hot over here. You're going to burn your hands. You probably could overload the motor. I don't know, but I haven't gotten it to that point. But I will tell you, it does get pretty hot right over here. And I think that they probably should have did a little bit better job protecting this area. But that's just the design of it. But I think when you look at it aesthetically, it's really, really nice tool. Very ergonomically designed, way nicer looking and sexier looking than the Flex. The Flex is just smoother. So, you know, the deal is you have to decide what you want. Do you want a finessing tool, a finishing tool? Do you want a real paint correction tool to do real solid paint correction? Or do you want something that's going to be so versatile that you can buy tool only and you can use any of your M18 batteries with Milwaukee, and you have the unsurpassed customer support anywhere you live in the country. So that's pretty much it. So let's get the scale up here, and I'm going to show you guys what all this stuff weighs, because these units, in my opinion, are a little heavy. They're a little bit heavier than the Flex, and they're a little bit lighter than a corded. So I'll be right back in a couple minutes. All right, guys, we're back. So I just pulled the battery off the 21. We're going to do a weigh-in to see what this puppy weighs. And we're getting 5.65 pounds. You can see that there. 5.65 pounds. That's without the battery. Now, if you want to put the big battery on, this is pretty heavy, this big battery. So we're going to reset it. Take it down. Now we're at 7.3 pounds, okay, with the larger 5.0 battery. So we're going to pop the big battery off. Okay, we're going to put the small lightweight battery on. Now we drop it down to 7 pounds. So the unit's 7 pounds as is. This is probably the way I would recommend using it, just with the lighter battery, because the tool is a little bit heavy. We're going to go here. We have the lighter battery on the 15. This one comes in at 6.8 pounds. So it's just a touch lighter than the 21. Could be because of like the smaller backing plate, and some of the internals might be a little bit different for the shorter throw. Now we're going to grab the Flex tool, and this is as is. We're going to weigh it with the battery, because it's the only way you could get this tool is with this particular battery. And this tool weighs 6.3. So this is quite a bit lighter, and you do notice it when you're using the tool. The Flex is a bit lighter than the Milwaukee tools. Now, we're going to put that to the side. Let's grab my my Griot's Boss G21. This is the corded tool. Let's see what this guy weighs. So we're at 6.8, okay? 6.8 pounds for the corded G21 by Griot's Garage. So it's very in line with the Flex as far as the weight. So the Milwaukee cordless are still a little bit heavier. Now, we're going to grab my Makita. My Makita right here, this is the 15. This is the one that you could switch it from forced to dual action. This is a great machine. Let's weigh that. 6.5, okay? So what I'm trying to get to the point is with the Milwaukee polishers, no matter which one you get, they're going to be a little bit heavier than a conventional or comparable corded polisher. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to get set up. We're going to do a quick demonstration on a Mercedes outside. I'm going to do some paint correction on the hood. We're going to use both machines, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts on both of the Milwaukee M18 fuel polishers. And hopefully you guys could get enough information. If you're going to spend $600 and you want to buy a kit, you can decide between the Milwaukee or the Flex, and I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts as far as which one I think is better, and of course the ideal and best value. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a little bit. All right, guys, so now we're going to go start the demonstration for you. So what we're going to do on this car, this car is heavily scratched up and swirled. You could see it there. I'll get some close-ups. The paint is pretty trash, and it's a dark metallic blue, so this is going to be a good demonstration. There's a lot of crap here. Looks like somebody scratched it with some Scotch-Brite pads here. So this is pretty trashed up. So what we're going to do, we're going to do an equal demonstration. We're going to do the 15 and the 21 using the same pad. And for the demonstration, we're not going to do any like heavy cut compound. We're going to do the new Autofanatic Moneymaker 3-in-1 single step correction. This is going to be just one of the first demonstrations on the channel showing this product. So what we're going to do is I'm going to split the hood in half. I'm going to tape up the hood. We're going to do 15. We're going to do 21. After a couple of passes, I'm going to show you guys the results of both. And then in order to get further correction, I'm probably going to switch these over to a microfiber cutting pad because these scratches are pretty deep. And then we're going to give you the final thoughts as far as what I think of both of these polishers and how effective they are. But I'm very confident that they're going to do a really, really good job of making this paint far superior than what it is right now. So I'm just going to give you a little walk around just to show you guys what we're working with here. See if the camera could actually pick up all the scratches and halos. And this thing is definitely run through an automatic car wash, and they hit it with the broom. You can see that there. I mean, it's really, really swirled up and scratched up. Right there, you can see it. So the car's already washed. I did a quick clay mint decontamination, and that's already good to go. And we're going to set the camera up. We're going to just check the hood right here, and we're going to start the polishing demonstration in a couple of moments. All right, guys, so we're going to get started with the 15. We're just going to prime the pad. This is with the Autofanatic Moneymaker single step. This is a 3-in-1 correction, polish, and decontamination product. So we want to load up the fresh pad. These are brand new pads. Okay, just like that. Put that there. And you guys can see we have the hood taped up. So we're going to do a couple of passes and see how well it comes out. We're going to start out at a low speed. Spread the product around. And I love where the rotary dial is here. So let's see the results. Now, some of these deeper scratches are not going to come out that easily, especially up here. But that did a really good job. Like I said, it's the 15, and this hood is pretty trashed. So the 21 should do a far better job on the other side of the car. And we're going to show you guys that next. So this is just a quick demo. Now, the tool's got pretty good control, a little bit of vibration, especially when you're working on a hood. So you got to just get used to it. But other than that, I would say that this paint is corrected right now. It was totally trashed before I started. I'd say it's about 80%, okay, just with a quick pass. And I didn't go too crazy. I think a microfiber cutting pad is the way to go, and that's probably how I'll finish this out. Okay, you guys can see that on the camera. So it definitely came out good. These deep scratches here, that's not coming out probably without wet sanding this out. So we're gonna start on the other side right now. All right, guys, we're back. So I just switched it over to a wool cutting pad because of the severe defects that is in this front Mercedes hood. So as I was working the panel, I could actually see that the wool cutting pad was doing a far better job than the foam pad. So I'm going to say now defects with the 21 and that cutting pad and the Autofanatic Moneymaker, I think we're about 95% perfect on this hood. And you guys can see the results. We're in sun right now. It's another thing, you can use a product in direct sun. It's perfect for mobile detailers, and that's why we call it the Moneymaker. But I'm going to finish up this hood, and then I'll give you guys my final thoughts on the Milwaukee M18 polishers. So guys, you can see here, this is what we used. We did the 15 and the 21. We used the green cutting pads on both machines. Then I stepped it up and I used a wool cutting pad on the 21, and I finished out the whole hood. And then I switched over to a thin Griot's Garage foam orange pad, and I finished it out as well. And that gave it the final finish, and it just really smoothed it out because the wool cutting pads can be a little bit aggressive and they dust out like crazy. So you can see the results. The hood looks outstanding. It's like a 95% perfect. I didn't spend much time on it, only about 25 minutes. Now, you could spend a little bit more time, of course, and really go crazy. It really depends on if it's your car or a customer's car and how much you want to spend as far as what you're going to do to the car. But it did a phenomenal job. The machines are solid. The 21 was starting to lose its juice after about 15 minutes. It was getting a little bit hot, probably because I'm working out in the sun. But overall, I think they're both amazing machines. I'm not sponsored. I purchased these machines, almost $700 for both of them. I think they're awesome, and I think they're complimentary for any enthusiast detailer or mobile detailer to have, just because you never know when you're going to need something portable, and I just think they're absolutely great. They have the power, far more power than the Flex, and the versatility of offering a 15 and a 21. It makes your shopping choice a little bit easier. So like I said, thanks for watching this video. I hope there was enough information in here for you guys to make a suggestion as far as what you want in a cordless polisher in your life and your detailing arsenal. Please subscribe to the Autofanatic channel and stay tuned for more content. And like I said, are there a replacement for a corded polisher? I don't think so. I think a corded polisher is always going to be superior just because of the power on demand all the time and of course a lot more torque. But I think they're complementary products, and I think for certain jobs and certain types of applications, they are absolutely worth having in your arsenal no matter what they cost. So stay tuned for the next video.